Welcome to 11 Recaps. Before we start, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps me keep creating content that benefits you. So, can I count on your support? Let's get started. Upon her release from prison due to a minor offense, Suzuko Sato returns to her hometown, only to find herself disenchanted with her life and the individuals surrounding her. The incessant neighborhood gossip persists, and familial disputes intensify. In an effort to start afresh, she resolves to save 1 million yen, leaving her past behind and relocating to a new town where she remains unknown. She continues this pattern of earning money, relocating, and evading relationships until the emotional barriers she has constructed begin to weaken, and the challenge of escaping her past becomes increasingly overwhelming. Her odyssey through solitude, self-exploration, and liberation illustrates the struggle inherent in confronting conflicts, particularly those that reside within ourselves. 1 Million Yen Girl is a film that poignantly depicts, within a somber atmosphere, the complexities of navigating life and the yearning to alleviate its burdens. Suzuko Sato is portrayed as a reserved and introspective young woman who struggles to assert herself. Following an unjust incarceration stemming from her vulnerability, she resolves to embark on a transformative journey by fleeing her circumstances. Contrary to the common belief that running from one's problems is futile, this escape provides the necessary impetus for her to evolve into a more assertive individual. Thus, her journey commences in the first town, triggered by the incident that led to her wrongful imprisonment. Suzuko faces challenges living with her family, yet her part-time job does not afford her the means to move out. At this juncture, a colleague proposes sharing the expenses of an apartment if they cohabitate. Although initially hesitant, Suzuko is intrigued by the prospect and agrees to the arrangement. Unbeknownst to her, her friend conveniently neglects to mention her intention to invite her boyfriend to join them in their new living situation. Although Suzuko experiences a profound sense of discomfort regarding the circumstances, she opts to remain silent and reluctantly accepts the arrangement. On the day designated for the move, her friend is conspicuously absent, with only her boyfriend present. He reveals that they have ended their relationship, and consequently, she will not be moving in, leaving just the two of them. Despite the increasing unease that plagues her, Suzuko again refrains from addressing the matter and permits events to unfold as they will. During this time, she discovers a stray cat and decides to take it home. She goes to the store to purchase food for the cat, but upon her return, she finds it missing. The boyfriend callously informs her that he has disposed of the cat, and the implications of this action are distressingly clear. Enraged, Suzuko waits for him to leave the apartment and retaliates by throwing out all of his possessions. However, when he files charges against her, the police unjustly side with him, placing her in a precarious position once more. It is alleged that 1 million yen was among the items she discarded. Consequently, Suzuko is engulfed in stress and turmoil. Feeling betrayed by a friend, wrongfully accused of a crime, and facing imprisonment, she becomes the subject of incessant gossip and criticism within her community. Even her own parents, particularly her cherished brother, regard her with disdain. This overwhelming situation compels her to leave town in search of relief from her difficulties. Following a confrontation with her family, she resolves to save 1 million yen and relocate, determined to no longer be a burden to anyone. She pledges to rely solely on her own efforts. Her initial endeavor involves working at a small shop by the beach, where she serves customers by preparing snow cones. The shop owners commend her significantly after she demonstrates her skill and expertise in crafting snow cones. The compliment is acknowledged, yet she finds herself uncertain about the value of such a trivial skill. One of the beachgoers becomes enamored with her personality and invites her on a date, leading to a gathering organized along the beach for her benefit. After departing from the party early to escort the shop owner's son home, she receives a confession of affection, which she coldly rebuffs. The following day, she resigns from her job and sets off for another town, having saved 1 million yen. Her journey takes her to a rural area where she engages in farm labor, specifically peach picking. The farm owners commend her significantly after she demonstrates exceptional skill in her work, affectionately dubbing her Peach Girl. While she appreciates the praise, she struggles to grasp the humor often expressed by the older generation. Upon learning of a striking new girl in town, the mayor visits the farm with a proposal for her to serve as a promotional figure to enhance the town's public image. Although she is hesitant, the enthusiastic mayor disregards her reservations. This situation culminates in a town meeting where residents hurl insults at her for declining to assist in boosting their reputation, labeling her as selfish and entitled. In response, she boldly declares that her refusal stems from having a criminal record. Overwhelmed with shame, she storms away, leaving the townspeople in shock. The next day, she resigns from her position and embarks on a new journey to another town, again with 1,000,000 yen in savings. This time, she finds herself in the city, working as a florist. Here, the narrative begins to take a different turn as she faces challenges in her new role. This shift symbolizes and foreshadows the consequences of evading one's problems for an extended period. While fleeing may offer temporary respite from difficulties, such avoidance ultimately leads to renewed struggles, as prolonged silence can complicate life further. Fortuitously, she is under the guidance of an appealing young college man, with whom she develops a deep affection. This marks a departure from her previous experiences. Their connection evolves from a mentor-mentee dynamic into a romantic relationship. She reveals to him her past, including a criminal record and the circumstances that led her to leave home. His lack of judgment provides her with a sense of comfort, reinforcing her belief that leaving her previous life was a wise choice. Determined to extend her stay in this town, she feels she may have discovered what she has long sought, a true sense of belonging. A new female employee joins their workplace, and Suzuko's boyfriend is assigned to train her. The affectionate moments shared between Suzuko and her boyfriend begin to be witnessed by the newcomer, leading to suspicions of flirtation on his part. Compounding Suzuko's discomfort, her boyfriend persistently requests financial assistance, further straining their relationship. Despite her reservations, she continues to lend him money without addressing his infidelity. This scenario may seem familiar. It mirrors the patterns that previously led to her wrongful imprisonment. Suzuko has consistently shied away from confrontation, whether by fleeing from unwanted attention or leaving town when faced with hostility. Now, however, her past has resurfaced, and she finds herself unable to escape. With her savings still short of 1,000,000 yen, she stands at a pivotal moment. She must choose between confronting her issues directly or continuing to evade them, risking a repetition of her earlier mistakes. Resolute, she declares that she will no longer tolerate the situation and takes the necessary steps to end the relationship. She makes arrangements to leave town, even in the absence of her desired savings. Upon returning to her apartment that evening, she receives her first letter from her brother. Despite her continuous correspondence with her brother, she has yet to receive a response from him. With anticipation, she opens the letter to discover his message. He recounts an incident where he was involved in a confrontation with bullies, resulting in him injuring one of them and being unjustly sent to child counseling. His parents suggest that he should leave his current school and enroll in a different one. However, he recalls a specific day when she was returning home from the grocery store and encountered her own set of bullies. They harassed her and mocked her for her past mistakes. Instead of passively enduring their taunts, she retaliated by throwing food at them, asserting her strength. This act of defiance inspired her brother, who admired her bravery and resolve. He resolves not to flee from his own bullies, but to confront them head-on. He decides against transferring schools. At this moment, Suzuko becomes aware of her own shortcomings and succumbs to her emotions. Her brother views her as a figure of courage and strength, yet she fails to recognize these qualities within herself. In truth, she has been acting cowardly. She had believed herself to be resilient, but she has merely been evading her challenges, confusing avoidance with strength. Her travels from one place to another have only resulted in a repetitive cycle of errors. She has not gained any wisdom, remaining stagnant in her personal development. Now, the issues she sought to escape have finally caught up with her, bringing forth all her burdens and obligations. She can no longer turn a blind eye to them. She had assumed that by simply agreeing and laughing, she could sidestep difficulties and lead a tranquil life. But this strategy has only complicated her existence. Ironically, while her brother drew inspiration from her unintended actions, it is now she who finds motivation in his resolve. In this pivotal moment, she pledges to cease her flight and confront her challenges and insecurities head-on. In the subsequent town, she aspires to become independent and confront the world with determination. Her former partner returns all the funds he had borrowed from her, allowing her to bid farewell. As Suzuko prepares to board the train, She takes a final glance at her past, ready to embrace the future as a transformed individual prepared to tackle life's challenges. Reflecting on the film, it becomes evident that despite the betrayals and mockery Suzuko endured, she was also surrounded by individuals who genuinely cared for her. At the beach, she was valued by those around her who appreciated her presence and contributed to attracting numerous customers. On the rural farm, her employers admired her character and personality, and even after discovering her criminal history, they presented her with a bag of peaches as a token of their gratitude for her contributions. Moreover, her parents expressed their longing for her and their desire for her return. Although Suzuko often felt unloved and struggled to establish a sense of belonging, she was, in reality, enveloped in authentic affection and acceptance. This support was instrumental in her transformation, enabling her to confront her vulnerabilities and pursue self-betterment. Escaping from our problems is not a viable solution. While the initial relief from stress and the sense of ease may seem beneficial, unresolved issues will persist, growing in magnitude until they demand confrontation. 1 Million Young Girl illustrates the act of fleeing from our challenges and the repercussions that follow. It is a tranquil and uplifting narrative about overcoming personal obstacles and facing our inner demons. The film demonstrates that the journey toward a genuinely peaceful and meaningful existence does not stem from avoiding difficulties, but rather from the bravery to confront them. True tranquility is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to master it. My channel is devoted to highlighting the importance of narratives. I hold the belief that the right stories can pave the way to a virtuous and harmonious existence. If you seek to comprehend stories and their significance, please consider subscribing.